This anime kicks off with our protagonist, Todo, and his 3 companions. But the curious thing is, all 3 of them, yes, all 3 are out to kill him. Okay, hold on. To understand why, we need to go over here, where Seal, the daughter of the leader who rules the demon world, is getting a mission from her dad. It's a mission that will grant her independence once she completes it. He tells her there are many heroes trying to annihilate the demons, so she just has to take out one of the best. Her target is none other than our main character. With this mission, Seal has finally been able to leave her home and go out into the world. So she's super excited to finish off this hero, and, while she's at it, try as many human-made sweets as she can. On the other hand, we have Anemone, a professional assassin who gets paid very well for every job she completes. In fact, she has a new target, and part of the mission is to dress up as a priestess. She gets angry when she hears this and warns them that she won't do it, no matter how much they pay her, unless the reward is 1 million yen, so she changes her mind immediately. Finally, there's Gore, a gal with some pretty weird and, frankly, over-the-top tastes. She's just been told that if she's looking for someone to punish, a certain guy might interest her. In the town of Fromner, at the Adventurers Guild, our hero asks some rookies if they need help, since he, a strong and kind hero, could assist them. The protagonist is so famous that they immediately notice his presence and are surprised to see him in person. Everyone wants to go on adventures with him. But wait, that's just what Todo wishes would happen. In reality, he offers to help the rookie adventurers, and they run away in fear. He knows he can't count on anyone today, so he's about to go check the job board, until these 3 suddenly appear and ask if he wants to form a party with them. Obviously, each of the girls wants to get Todo alone so they can take him out as soon as possible, but the people around them think they actually want to form a party of 4. They're clearly jealous, but our hero doesn't care that they're 3 attractive girls. He just wants to fulfill his dream of going on adventures with companions, and now it's finally coming true. The others warn the girls that teaming up with Todo is a bad idea, but Gore couldn't care less and declares that from now on, he belongs only to her. This makes our hero's head explode, because it turns out he's super shy, awkward, and not used to being around women. The 3 of them immediately go on high alert, thinking this is a good opportunity to annihilate him. The first to act is Seal, who uses her magic to teleport him away, but obviously, the other 2 aren't going to let their prey get away. In fact, Anemone is grateful they're outside, since now she can use her long-range attack without any issues. But of course, for Seal, repelling that attack with her magic is no big deal. Gore is surprised by the combat skills of the other 2. But she doesn't really care, because in the end, the world always ends up bowing at her feet. Seal tells them to back off because the hero now belongs to her, but Anemone isn't having it. Gore steps in between them and asks them all to calm down, saying it's best to talk it out with a temporary truce. The others agree, but immediately, Gore's special anesthetic starts to take effect, and now everyone is about to become her mindless puppet. However, Seal tells her she just ruined everything because she was in the middle of a summoning. Now that she's been interrupted, she can't control what comes out. And yup, we're talking about a dark spider dragon. Anemone tells her to do something about that thing, but the shorty can't, thanks to Gore. Since the blonde wants to run away, the girls use their last bit of energy to catch her and get the antidote so they can deal with the monster. But it seems it's already too late. The beast attacks, but Todo, with a single blow, knocks it out cold. Wow, this guy is incredibly strong. The 3 of them immediately thank him for saving them, but once again, Todo has fainted. Anemone asks if they could just finish him off right now, but Seal thinks they should leave him alone for today, since she used up a lot of energy with the summoning. Besides, she admits that Todo was pretty impressive with what he just did. Anemone agrees, so Gore suggests they go to Tosakune, a city famous for its sweets, so they can eat something and introduce themselves. Just hearing the word sweets is enough for Seal to say yes, since she has a lot to try before going back home. Anemone also accepts, wanting to first figure out if these 2 are friends or enemies. Gore, obviously, suggested this to get them to lower their guard so she can start planning her counterattack. Once in the city, sitting down and eating, Seal is the first to introduce herself. Obviously, she can't say she's a demon, so she tells them she wants to become an expert mage. Anemone introduces herself as a priestess who helps people and Gore as an ordinary dancer. Our hero, on the other hand, introduces himself as the hero Toto, who is traveling to defeat the Dark Lord and become a true man. The girls go crazy hearing this and hope they can count on him. But again, all of this just happened in his head. In reality, the guy is completely silent because he's so shy. In a low voice, he says he will protect them. Gore congratulates him for introducing himself, but once again, the guy faints. Two things surprise me about this guy. He looks like Bart Simpson, and his head is so small. What the heck is up with that? It's really weird to see. Now that the hero is knocked out, Seal confesses that she's the daughter of the Dark Lord and came for Toto's head. Anemone says the hero is her target, period. Gore says she's the owner of a place called the House of Pleasure and wants the protagonist as her new pet. Immediately, Anemone says she's out, that none of this is worth it, so she'll leave him to the other two. However, we see here that's a lie, as she actually plans to take Toto out from another part of the city. To do this, she'll use a long-range weapon, but while searching for him, she ends up finding a slave or something she's not about to let slide. So she throws a smoke bomb, rescues the girl, and even gives her money so she can have a good life. However, the slaver turns out to be a monster and wants revenge for what just happened. Anemone isn't about to let this guy get away with it, so she starts attacking him. You can tell this girl is really strong because the destruction from the battle is starting to spread across much of the city. This Shrek-looking guy wants to know who the hell she is, and Anemone clarifies that he doesn't need to know, just that she loves to drink and hates slavers. The monster knows this won't be easy, so he decides to get serious and finally shows his true power. Anemone is in trouble now, as the guy is very dangerous. But guess who just showed up to give him what he deserves? She asks him what the heck he's doing here, and Toto reminds her that he swore to protect all of them. He does, however, want to know what she's doing with that thing in her hand. But Anemone doesn't know what to say, so she just blows him a kiss, which leaves him in shock. She'll figure out an excuse later. The other two saw everything and start teasing her, but Seal wants to know why she didn't just take out the enemy from a distance when she had the chance. Anemone explains that it would have been horrible for the little girl to see something like that up close. Out of nowhere, she blurts out that this world is rotten, and she wants to change it. But to do that, she first needs money, which she'll get by finishing off the hero. Right, the world is rotten, and you make a living killing people. The point is, even while knocked out, the protagonist stopped her attack, so Anemone, dying of embarrassment, says she wants to go rest. Gore suggests going to an inn, but since she only asks for one bed, Anemone prefers to get her own room. Oh, and yeah, our hero is out cold again. Gore thinks Seal is still too young, so she recommends she get another room. The demon knows it's true and leaves, confident that Gore won't be able to take out the hero. The blonde is aware of this, but she comments that her goal isn't to kill him, but to tame him as her pet. That's why, after giving him her potion, she thinks he'll be her pet in 5 minutes. But after taking a bath and coming out to see if it worked perfectly, she notices Toto is still in shock. She's not one to give up, so she uses her ability to wake him up with punches, but that doesn't work either. In fact, the hero is unconsciously fighting against Gore's power, to the point that he wakes up, sees the situation, and faints again. Man, at this rate, the protagonist is going to miss his own anime. Because of this, the others have come over, and Seal thinks Gore simply doesn't have the strength needed to tame Toto. Anemone thinks the shorty wouldn't get it, but Seal warns her not to treat her like a child, because as a demon, she has lived many more years than both of them combined. Gore asks if they aren't afraid of her, since she loves to manipulate and take advantage of people, but the other two just laugh, thinking her powers are a joke, and that if she tried anything against them, she'd be in for a world of hurt. This leaves the blonde speechless. But now the argument over who gets to take out the hero is between these two, who don't hesitate to go into attack mode right in the middle of the inn. Since Gore suggests not fighting, Seal agrees and decides to solve this peacefully with games and food. She confesses that she's never been allowed to do these kinds of things, and that's why she wants to make the most of it, because she's having a lot of fun. And so, a little while later, the three of them start playing some games. Hours later, Toto wakes up and starts to think that the whole thing with the three girls joining his party was just a dream, because it's impossible for something so good to happen to him. Unless it really is true, and what do you know, he faints again. Gore had just woken up, and the two girls told her it was about time, as it was incredibly late. The main issue was that the hero, Toto, was completely passed out from significant blood loss, leading Seal to wonder if this was how he would finally meet his end. Naturally, the three of them stood guard to protect their target. Seal declared that she was the only one capable of eliminating the hero because she was the daughter of the Demon Lord. Anemone scoffed, calling her a fool for believing such a thing. A professional assassin like herself, with a 99.9% success rate, couldn't possibly fail. Gore, on the other hand, believed she was the only one who could tame him. Just then, their target began to stir, but upon seeing the three of them looming over him, he promptly fainted again. His condition was becoming genuinely concerning. A few hours later, after breakfast, the hero regained consciousness. Gore was thrilled that the group was finally setting off on an adventure, but the other two didn't share her enthusiasm. As they talked, Toto wondered if he could truly handle the journey, given his tendency to faint. Seal asked if something was wrong, but he insisted everything was fine. He knew he couldn't back out now. He had promised to protect them and was determined to keep his word. When Anemone asked about their destination, Gore suggested they first visit the Adventurers Guild. There, they had to fill out a registration form with details about their party and leader. To his surprise, Gore nominated Toto as the leader. After the paperwork was complete, the hero, with a look of pure terror, managed to thank the receptionist, showcasing his profound social awkwardness. Once the girls had helped him clean up, Seal insisted that as the leader, he needed to start acting like one. He privately questioned if he could be of any real help, but his doubts vanished when he saw the guild's official document for their party. He was overjoyed, as he had never been officially registered before. Gore declared that their adventures could now truly begin, mentioning that reaching a rank would earn them nifty guild cards. Seeing the others' confusion, she explained the ranking system, with the S rank reserved for the strongest veterans. Seal was displeased with their low starting rank, while Anemone was curious about available jobs. Gore explained that to fight Demon Lord and dragons, they needed to work hard and raise their rank by taking on quests from the notice bulletin board. The harder the quest, the faster the promotion. Anemone correctly assumed their low rank limited them to simple tasks like hunting slimes and gathering herbs. When Seal asked how long it would take to reach the highest rank, Gore revealed that for most adventurers, it was a matter of years, not days. Anemone suggested they stop talking and start working. However, Seal suddenly grabbed the hero, which of course caused him to faint once more. Anemone, angered by the interruption, demanded to know what Seal wanted. Seal reminded them that their true objective was to kill the hero, not to go on adventures and rank up, questioning if the guild registration was even necessary. Gore agreed it wasn't, and Anemone concurred, vowing to kill them all eventually. The tension rose until Anemone proposed a temporary truce. They would take daily turns attempting to assassinate the protagonist. Seal agreed to the plan, provided everyone kept their word. With an agreement in place, they settled the order with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Minutes later, the hero finally awoke to find Seal sitting by his side. An awkward silence fell between them, and he struggled to find the right words. He imagined giving her a brave pep talk for their first adventure, but knew it wasn't realistic. His shyness was so crippling that he felt if he couldn't even talk to one girl, adventuring with three would be impossible. He broke the silence by asking where Gore and Anemone were. She explained they were looking for a quest, and she had stayed to watch over him, though it no longer seemed necessary. She then asked why he was so determined to go on adventures. Was it for reputation or money? Despite his shyness, the hero managed to answer, confidence. He explained he believed that adventuring and defeating the Demon Lord would give him the confidence he lacked in social situations. Recalling his own struggles, Seal related to his feelings but realizes that confidence isn't the problem. She suggested they work hard together to prove their worth. Toto agreed, although Seal personally thought that he was the one most likely to die, not the Demon Lord. Todo felt guilty, lamenting that despite his promise to protect them, they were the ones constantly protecting him. Seal reminded him that he had protected them from the enemy a few days ago, but the compliment was too much for him, and he fainted again. Seal was incredulous, finding it absurd that he would pass out from a simple compliment, and began to worry seriously about his condition. The other two, having witnessed the scene, commented on how adorable Seal was being. Seal, ignoring them, asked if they had found a quest. Gore confirmed they had. The local armorer had requested they go to the spring cave and had given them a key. Seal found this perfect, but reminded the others not to interfere with her turn, as per their agreement. Anemone didn't mind but questioned if Seal could go through with it, suggesting she was growing fond of the hero. Offended by the accusation, Seal became defensive, and the girls were on the verge of another fight. Gore intervened, reminding them that fighting would break their deal. Later, they made their way to the spring cave. The hero described it as a cramped, damp, and unappealing E-rank dungeon. Upon arrival, they found it empty. As usual, the protagonist grew nervous, which the girls attributed to it being his first quest. Seal calmed him by explaining they only needed to mine iron ore. Todo insisted on taking the lead to protect them. Along the way, Anemone asked Seal how she planned to kill the hero, guessing she might summon a giant monster. Seal remained coy, implying she had other plans. Suddenly, a lone slime appeared. Anemone doubted such a weak creature could harm a hero, but Seal told her to wait as more slimes began to gather. She then challenged Todo to show them what a hero could do. The others found the situation ridiculous, as slimes were no match for an ordinary person, and indeed, Todo defeated them with a single blow. However, the fight confirmed Seal's suspicion. The hero fought bare-handed, leaving him vulnerable to physical damage. She reasoned that while he could handle small slimes, a giant, sticky one would be a different story. Anemone asked if any such powerful slimes were nearby, and Seal confidently stated she could create one from scratch. Seconds later, a monstrous slime materialized before the hero. Seal explained she had empowered it to test his limits. Todo's punch had no effect on the creature. Seal warned him that this slime emperor absorbed and consumed its victims. Trapped in its grasp, Todo knew he had to break free. He picked up the large slime, twisted it, and threw it at the cave wall like a sticky toy. The girls were stunned, but the creature was not defeated and quickly trapped the hero again, sealing Seal's apparent victory. In desperation, Todo screamed at the slime with all his might, and the sheer force of his voice caused the monster to dissolve into a puddle. The girls were utterly shocked, and Seal began to question if they could ever defeat him. When Gore asked if she wanted to continue, Seal conceded, saying she would let it go for the day. With the threat gone, Gore directed them to focus on mining the iron ore. Since they lacked proper tools, Todo asked for permission to punch the rocks to extract the ore. His immense strength allowed them to gather a massive quantity of iron. Back at the armory, a bald adventurer scoffed, assuming the rookies had returned empty-handed. His jaw dropped when Todo slammed a huge pile of iron ore onto the table. The armorer was ecstatic, as he was always short on iron. He explained that he hired rookies to test their mettle, but admitted he was thoroughly impressed by Todo. He asked the hero's name, wished him luck, and said that he expected great things from him, which made the shy protagonist very happy. The girls congratulated him on a job well done. When Seal asked how he became so powerful, he embarrassingly confessed it was simply from lifting weights, leaving the girls in shock. However, the man-adventurer from earlier warned Todo not to get arrogant over a single success, claiming the armorer said the same thing to all new heroes. He warned that a big head would get him killed, though the girls knew defeating Todo wasn't so simple. The man then tried to recruit the girls into his own party, promising to take care of them. One unified gaze was enough to send the coward scurrying. The man's words discouraged Todo, strengthening his resolve to become stronger and prove himself worthy of the girls' trust. He bowed and told them he would be delighted to continue as their companion. This gesture pleased the girls, who replied that they were also delighted to have him with them. And that's the end of the second episode of The Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses. Thank you so much for staying on this channel and watching our videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep you updated with our latest content. See you in the next video.